Their moment together was swift. A brief exchange of glances, a twinkle of the eyes, a quiver of her lip, and she was gone. Would Harvey see her again? He wasn't sure. Nor was she. He wasn't even sure what he'd seen was real. Recounting the event would sound straight out of a fairy tale, or the delusion of an overactive imagination. Yes, that Wednesday morning, under the old pear tree, the same pear tree Harvey had visited countless mornings before, Harvey locked eyes with a fairy. He had to know more. His grandmother's death had been surprisingly beneficial, all things considered. He'd met her once or twice during his adolescence, but Harvey would be lying if he said he truly knew the woman by the time she got buried. Despite their distance, his grandmother decided her legacy was best trusted with him. So there, in her will and testament, was the deed to her home of 40 years. It was a quaint stone cottage by a glade out in the Irish country. Moss littered the outside walls and hanging baskets stood dejected and forlorn. If it wasn't his, Harvey would have written off the building as condemned. He almost wanted to walk away when he first saw it. Talk to the executor and see if there was a way to take his, admittedly very generous, gift back. Many would call the place a fixer-upper, though Harvey feared that given his skill set, any work he attempted to perform on the cottage would take it from a fixer-upper to destroyed beyond repair. He'd just have to make it work, and thankfully, that was one of the few things Harvey felt he was good at. One of the ways he made it work was through his continuous morning ritual of visiting the old pear tree just north of the glade by his cottage. Harvey wasn't much of a gardener, but even he thought it was odd how the fruits seemed to always replenish every morning despite him filling his basket the morning prior. He chalked it up to just a pear thing. After all, he'd never seen an apple do it before, but a pear? As far as he was concerned, a pear could be capable of growing to full ripeness in just 24 hours. Who was he to say? It was this odd quirk that kept Harvey returning to the tree every morning. It was simply routine to him now. The morning hadn't begun until he'd plucked the fresh pears. He did it so often that it was practically second nature the moment the sun seeped through his curtain every day. So that fateful morning, it wasn't the pears that shook up Harvey's routine so drastically. It wasn't even a lack of pears. As per usual, the pears had replenished just as they did several mornings before. Instead, it was her. And now her glossy eyes beamed at him like a startled deer. How her once soft nose seemed to stiffen once she spotted him. How the sun danced off her wings like stained glass. How her plump lips glistened under the morning sun. Or how, despite her wings and a furrowed brow that marked an intense determination, she just couldn't manage to pluck a pear from the old pear tree. She vanished almost as quickly as Harvey and her locked eyes. He knew what he saw, he just wasn't sure if it was real. A product of a headspace plagued with morning fatigue or a genuine encounter with the mystical. Only one thing he knew for certain. She was beautiful. So that morning, Harvey left a plucked pear by the roots of the old pear tree, and was delighted to find it missing the following day.